this is a sentence I can confidently say I never thought I would say, and that's that we're going to be turning my 1100 wheel horsepower Corvette competition drift build into an off-road racer and going off-road racing. I don't know who against. It's either a pro driver or a YouTube person, not sure. But the only thing I do know is that it's going to be at the Freedom Factory throughout the entire Freedom Factory grounds, and about 30% is going to be on pavement. The rest will be off pavement, mixed from a variety of surfaces. So, hence, we got to make this thing off-road capable, priority off-road. Now that being said, I don't know if this thing is going to be even remotely competitive off-road, because I also don't know who we're racing and what they're bringing. They might be just as off in left field as we are. But what I do know is that I already turned down an opportunity to rip a 1,000 horsepower dog box race car off-road. Provided we don't destroy it, obviously. That's my goal, is to not destroy it, but I just want to see this thing throwing rooster tails, and it's kind of been a bucket list thing of mine to take a rowdy drift car and rip it off-road. So, win or lose, this is our chance. So, first things first, we got to see how high we can get this thing. I may have gone a little bit overboard on the tire size, I don't know. You know, these are the Nomad grapplers. They're like a light truck SUV kind of tire, and I've ran these on that kind of thing. They're on Nitto on-road tires, but doing an off-road tire on an on-road vehicle, not something I've done yet. Marrying the two together. But we're gonna do what we gotta do to make this work, because I don't wanna miss an opportunity to off-road this thing. Now I have a plan B. Plan A doesn't work. Obviously I prefer and like to make plan A work. Regardless, we're going off-roading in the bed. Now that being said, I do have a pretty exciting set of upgrades for the on-road performance of this thing, ready to go on. It is contingent though on this thing still being in one piece after this. I'm gonna try my best. I love this car. But sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, as they say. Oof, yep, that's what I was worried about. When it comes to setting up a dedicated comp drift car to work off-road, it's not a ton different, but obviously we're going to need more suspension travel and we're going to need more ride height. And fortunately, I worked at BC Racing, the coilovers that we have, for 5 years. So I know all the different shock sizes and little tips and tricks and cheat codes that I can use to get us more travel. Now, the only thing is, it's not just about getting travel at the shock. We need our suspension to be able to articulate that much. At baseline, with a comp drift car, you're really trying to get as much, at least rear travel, as you can. You want a lot of rear travel to soak up the bumps and be able to take the hit and weight transfer and all of that. So really, even without going to longer shocks, we have a good amount of travel that would probably work off-road. But the suspension side of it, it's kind of the opposite. We have a Justin Engineering angle kit and rear grip kit. Now, not only does this allow us to change dynamic alignment stuff and obviously more angle, but it also allows the car to have the right geometry at a lower ride height, which is kind of the opposite of what we need in this specific scenario. We have drop knuckles on here. So at a lower ride height, our suspension geometry is flat and level as it should be. The problem with that, though, is that means all of our joints are neutral at a pretty low ride height. So even raising to stock, but especially past stock like we did, can only go so far before all those joints bind up. Moral of the story is we raised it probably a couple inches, each front and rear. But can't really go much more than that. We're gonna have to just live with it. The one thing I am admittedly slightly worried about is the dry sump belt. Need to get into the tune-up and add a safety for oil pressure. So one of the safeties in comp drifting, it's a catch-22 if the car cuts out on you, because your safety kicks in, you know, could send you into the wall, could cause someone to crash into you and then really tear up two cars. You know, it could be worse at times. But in this scenario, I think it's worth having the safety. I mean, at least we'll get to see what it does in mostly drift car trim. Hey, that's a silver lining, right? Right. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fit the large off-road tires, but definitely the tires we have on right now are kind of the opposite of what we run, or what we want to run, because they're NTO1s, which are basically a road legal slick. I mean, they have a tiny bit of siping to handle the wet, and they do surprisingly well in the wet, but not going to be a great tire off-road. Great tire on-road, lots of grip, not going to be great off-road. So switching to a middle ground, I had these NTO5 scrubs. They're not as sticky as the NTO1s, but they've got a lot more tread and sipes, so I think they'll handle, especially like the sand and stuff, a lot better than the other tires. So, you know, it's something. The rear, fortunately, we have these massive 315 Nitto G2s, basically a 28-inch drag radial with a bunch of tread, so those should work. I mean, it's high enough to get it off the lift. The back is so high. Oh, I almost wanna. No, I'm gonna lower the back some. I gotta do it. I can't leave it like that. Yeah, I gotta go down some more in the back. I can't do it. I think we're at a good spot. We got a couple inches of wheel gap in the front. Got about the same in the rear. The rear should settle some. Rather the rear be lower and the front kind of nosedive into things. You know, the front's got way more fragility. So, honestly, maybe we'll take it. We'll see when we get there. It's always a tough thing with the suspension. The rear is also a lot softer than the front. I mean, that's about right, I think. Kevin, you just beat me. Dang.
Transponders? They all have them. Okay, good. Just make sure everybody.
All right, well, we're out here. It is chilly. I did not expect it to be this cold today. I gotta say, I mean, I'm optimistic. There is a lot of not on the road, like most of it, like the expected amount, but it's definitely more manageable than I would have thought with street tires. I think at the end of the day, the street tires were the right choice based on the other parts of the track. It's going to be fast and intense and very easy to total a car. So you're going to have to be careful, but you know, at least we know how to drift. It should be fun though. We did something like this a long time ago here. We did like a freestyle drift competition where you could make your own line through the whole Freedom Factory, and I did it in the Miata. tire or an axle. Kind of reminds me of that. But a set course and way you're out of your car, so should be interesting. Let's see how this cold starts here. Side note, I just realized we got Kevin here. He tuned it. You don't like that? Took the bumper off the Vette, which is still kind of low in the front with the front lip. The front lip's already broken, but that Z06 bumper, those things are like $1,000. Hold on, we gotta see if we can do it. Anyway, they're expensive and they're hard to find, so I don't want to destroy the bumper. The lip's gotta get replaced anyway, but the bumper, yeah. Rubs a little bit. Hey, dude, these are, look at that. That's expert work right there.
It catches on fire. I didn't do it.
No, you had nothing to do with it. Oh, this is protection for the radiator. That's.
I got it built. You want to build your front bumper next?
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we are about to go out. It's gonna be interesting. There's a lot of straight sections and paved sections for me to open it up, but definitely not built for off-road. So obviously in those areas it's probably not going to be optimal, but you know, we're gonna do what we can. So to remember, it's
No kidney bean. That's all you need to know.
oh, no kidney bean.
No kidney bean.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So start, lap, interval.
Oh, you do it. Oh, yeah, okay.
So
I
S
see.
turn, hard right out.
That's what I was
Basically
sure.
almost one full lap, tuck down into the inner.
And then, yeah, okay. All right, we're doing it. intense.
Violent, isn't it?
I don't want to be ripping out.
It's screwed in this side. He wants to unscrew it and rip the other side out.
Oh, yeah, if you could.
Oil in your catch can before?
Probably.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, it's just my breather tank.
Okay.
All right, we good? I think we can go a little faster. Oh, something broke. Something broke. All right, well, that is kind of what I was worried about. None of this is meant for off-roading, and basically for me to get the height that I needed, everything was kind of bound up, and I had to extend these out to kind of a sketchy point where there wasn't enough in it, and clearly there wasn't enough in it. Just totally my own fault. Honestly, I'm surprised it held up as much as it did. If I could just get that. Well, the custom suspension design we got going on here. Ratchet strap. It worked though. We're about to find out if it worked. I'm just gonna go real slow. Look at all the grass in my door jam. Let's go. It worked! I'm sorry, Just Engineering, for doing that to your rear grip kit. I had to adjust it out so far. I should have known better. But, I mean, it seems like we just broke a hind, which is good. Just replace that. The drive was shame. At least we're driving ourselves off, baby. Testament to the Just Engineering build quality. Broke this Heim because I had to extend it out too far. It still threads out. That's impressive. I really thought the threads were going to be damaged in here. This thing slammed to the ground, got ratchet strap back up, and drove back to the pits. I mean, we got to try it, right?
I love it.
Gotta
try it.
Got the gloves.
We have to.
All right, golf cart lap. steam at the end there. It's got the battery. I think it's just the motor gets hot when you're like flooring it for that long. Because it was going for a minute there. And then just get straight, and when you're ready, just floor it. Oh, it's so funny. It really spun the tires on that one. He's probably, because he's not as heavy as me, it doesn't plant the tires. Do it again. It's so sick.
That's awesome.
It's so fun. Because you can just go have fun and like nobody even knows you're doing anything.
Yeah.
Besides the tire chirp.
You go straight with 2 people?
Oh yeah, it's even better with 2 people. Because it'll hook up better.
Oh jeez. Oh, no.
I know you're just gonna do it on 2. Don't you do it.
The best part of this is I've never been in a drift car.
I know, I was thinking that. I was like, I don't know if you have.
Nope, I mean a little bit, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, this is like,
This is top tier level drift car right here. Definitely the best experience I could get.
and the tires are aired down for the off-road part, so it's got grip.
Okay.
You'll see.
This thing is rowdy.
Dog box is my favorite part.
Alright, the dog box sounds so good while you're
here in this car, but I drove here a lot with Garrett back in the day when he first got this place.
Yeah.
But in my Miata. And then this car, I haven't driven it here that much, so
Totally different setup.
it's
I guess you see a lot of places with the skid pad and just dropping down.
Yeah.
It's a wild feeling.
it feels so cool.
Not for me, I'm shitting my pants.
Oh, it's so fun, man. I love it.
Golf
carted up here, or like professional racers.
Oh, then this guy comes and he's flexing on
I know, the 6x6. Let's run it.
Yeah, I think you got the win on that.
We just wrapped up the video. It's funny to see the vet here with the Crown Vic graveyard. I've personally destroyed a couple of these. I don't know where mine are, but they're here somewhere. But yeah, interesting, really good time thrashing the vet, seeing what it could do off-road. Got it back together with the spares. Vet did good though. Did some hooked up laps. Also got the test on the NT05s, because if we were to do FD, we would have to run a 200 treadwear front tire, whereas I normally run a 100 treadwear tire. So, I've been meaning to test it, but I love my NT01s in the front. So I kind of forgot when I took them for those laps, and what do you know? Felt great. I mean, the tire pressure is pretty low. I probably need to run more than that. Also, side note, look how much, you can see how much sand, most of it's gone now, but I got grass wedged in the fender. Oh, the old vet. This thing's very versatile. Really, it's just the fact of the axles being too long and me having to adjust the suspension all the way out. If I could have got away with, if my suspension was more in, I don't think that would have been a problem, which would be insanely impressive how well the Just Engineering kit held up. It's meant to be light, it's meant for drifting, and there's a lot of bumps out here.
Listen, we'll leave this here and we can load that up into your trailer. Oh, there we go. But I need to take the golf cart home.
Oh, that's a fair
That's what we want. That's the trade right there.
The golf carts are rigged, dude. I'm glad everyone likes the golf cart.
That is the coolest thing to have on a track. You got shade, you got power, you got comfort.
You got wheelies?
You got wheelies. You do have wheelies.
Oh, that was fun.
This thing is
The dark rest stop. Check the scraps. She's rolling though. Got myself a machine coffee. Get back on the road. Don't have too much further to go. Down Orlando. Oh, we gotta pass this truck. Easy as that. Let's try it. Oh yeah, there it is. Moment of truth. Oh yeah, there we go. 22. All the way to 94. That should work. There's supposed to be precision snap ring pliers. Not very precision right now. Oh, nice. My theory was correct. No way, dude. This whole time. Wow, for sure. All right, well, morning after kind of vibes, looking at having this thing in the air, doing a damage check. All in all things considered, really could have been way worse. Side note, golf cart was a fan favorite. Kevin is sold on building one. He was ripping this thing all over. It was so funny. But yeah, really the worst of it was just this rear quarter panel, which this side's been hit, or I've hit into things so many times. Schulman's rear tire, this was a crash at a comp. I don't know what damage really is new or old, to be honest with you. So, I mean, not bad, not bad. Could be worse. Diffuser should be able to reattach to that. Kind of looks cool without it though. Maybe I'm just convincing myself that. But all in all, for what we put this car through, really, it held in there pretty well. I mean, that was definitely, bar none, the most intense driving experience of my life. Driving this thing off-road is like driving a rocket, and you're just kind of like suggesting to it where to go. There's so much power and so much intensity that you're just like, it just felt crazy. It felt insane. I was so excited to do another lap because there was, I think, 10 seconds left on the table at least that I could have accomplished. Just knowing where the bumps were the worst in the grass, could have gone a lot faster through there. Also, the grip in the bank, the car actually hooked up, turned pretty good. So there was time. There's lots of time left on the table, but I did get it back together, obviously, to go drifting, but I didn't want to chance it breaking again with everything being bound up and extended out. I just felt like it was gonna break again. You know, with the car at its proper ride height and everything adjusted in, it's all good. You know, just I had to kind of, it was on the limit there with the adjustment, and obviously over the limit. So anyway, I do have upgrades planned. I started tinkering with some stuff, something I want to try. Like these coilovers, for example, these came with the original car, which, I mean, ended up building the whole new car, but one of the few things left. But these are super fancy, like $10,000 Moton 3-way coilovers, and I want to try them on just to see if adding extra adjustments will help us or not, so we can decide what to do in the future for our BCs. But they had a different mount style, and I managed to get that apart, but I need to make some custom parts. And to make those custom parts, we need to do some shop upgrades, upgrade our equipment so that we can make them. So we need to do some upgrades so that we can do some upgrades, you know. But I do have a few other things, some big, some small, to do to this car before the comp season starts, just to really make sure it's dialed and ready to go for this season, because we're gonna be driving this thing and driving it hard and competing with it again, which I'm really excited for. But man, couldn't turn down that opportunity. I'm glad I did. I'm glad Kyle convinced me to go out and drift again, because I realized I haven't drifted that track since the last round of Clutch Kickers, which was this car's first competition and only my third time driving it. So between then and now, you know, the car's progressed, but I've also gotten way more comfortable driving the car and driving it hard and having confidence it was gonna hold together, you know? So it was a totally different experience. And you know, I wasn't going for wall riding a 100-point qualifying run. I was just having fun, and it got my heart pumping, man. That's not super common from drifting to me now, but man, it was intense with all that grip. It was so fun. I just had a great time. Had a blast. Shout out to Nitto. The episode of us battling, I battled Kyle. He was in the side-by-side. Will be, I think it's a few months. I actually don't remember the exact month, but I'll let you guys know when it goes up. I'm excited to see it, especially the outside footage of this thing mobbing through the dirt, throwing 40-foot rooster tails. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll let you guys know. But for now, we're out of time because we got to move on. We got to get shop stuff so that we can get to car stuff, so that we can get back to building cars, fixing cars, upgrading, racing, you know, the usual. So thank you guys for coming along with me. I'm glad you were there because it was a good old time. I wasn't sure I was going to bring you guys along, but I had to do it, and I'm glad I did. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for the next one. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll wrap this up. Goodbye, guys. See you later.